Hey guys, it is NCS Fan 001 here for another one of those weekly trophy list update videos. Today's date is Monday, September 26th, 2022. So this will have covered the week of September 19th through the 25th of 2022. Not a super productive week in terms of numbers, but I'm happy with how this week went because I was spending most of my time on only a single game. So, as you can see, I earned trophies in a total of 4 games this week, which is not too bad. So first off, Fallout 76 is back to 100% completion. I actually finished it on Sunday. I had just enough on Sunday to get the last couple trophies done. So you still get 1 trophy for finishing your 2 expeditions for the first time. It's really not that hard once you sort of get used to it. I mean, I'm soloing them every time without really a whole lot of issues whatsoever. I'm not necessarily getting all the really good rewards from doing that, because there are better rewards you get from doing all the optional objectives. But I'm doing okay with it, and in all honesty, it wasn't anything too difficult once you sort of get used to them. Like, the first run of each is going to be a little bit trickier because you're trying to learn how the area works, like how all the new mechanics and everything work. Plus, each mission has several different objective paths you can go down. Like, the game's going to basically pick 3 out of 8 potential objectives for each of them, as far as I can tell throughout it. So, there are a lot of different paths you can go down for each and a lot of other abilities. But overall, nothing too bad with that. Just finish both of them at least once for that. But you're going to need to do all these other trophies anyway, because the 10 favors is those miscellaneous quests inside of the White Springs Refuge. Apparently there's 18 different ones, according to the guy I'm writing the trophy guide with. So apparently there's like 18 of them. I've seen maybe 7 so far, because they sometimes repeat. But they're all super easy. Like, they all basically take place inside of the refuge, and they only take a few minutes each. It might be something like repairing a robot, or settling an argument, or finding an item. Easy stuff like that. Nothing much to worry about. It's just you only can get 1 per day, unless you're allowed to load up a second character and do it on a second account. Or do it on a second character, not a second account, just another character. I guess you could maybe do it that way and probably speed it up a little bit, but I don't know if that's a confirmed workaround. And then finally, you have to kill 100 trogs with an auto axe. So this one's actually pretty grindy for 2 reasons. One, you actually have to unlock the auto axe through the plans for it. And to do this, you need to reach rank 15 in the current season of Fallout 76, Season 10, the City of Steel. It will still be available after that. It'll be available to be purchased for a certain number of stamps. But with how expensive everything is for stamps, I imagine it's probably going to be well over 100, which would probably mean over 20 runs of either expedition to get enough stamps. So I would definitely say try to knock it out now. You can just complete daily challenges for like 3 or 4 days and a few weekly challenges, and you'll probably have it. Because I'm currently already maybe like rank 22 on the season, and I was able to finish all the trophies doing that much. But then once you do that, you have to craft the auto axe, and then you have to go get 100 kills on trogs. I found the best way to do it is in From Ashes to Fire, because that mission spawns like 30 to 40 trogs per run on average. Whereas Union Dues, I think, only spawns them at the very end, and I initially thought that they were infinitely spawning, but they aren't. Only about 15 spawn, so definitely farm it on From Ashes to Fire. It's by far your best bet, because you can get nearly half of it in a single run if you get lucky. So yeah, nothing really too difficult on that DLC. I'd rate it about a 3 out of 10. You do have to be a fairly high level or be in a decent group to be able to do it, or else you are going to struggle a little bit more with it. But it's a solid, like, 15-ish hours probably. Just, you know, you're going to be running several different expeditions to level up some and complete daily challenges, and then you just have to farm your way to those 10 miscellaneous quests and the level 15 and the 100 kills. So it's a solid 15-hour DLC, but it's nothing too bad. So I guess we can go ahead and look back at the rest of the game, because we probably won't be getting another DLC for this until next year, because there's supposed to be expeditions for this game apparently until 2027, when apparently that's maybe when they're going to stop supporting the game, or when they're going to release their final like main piece of content for it. That's what I've heard as a rumor. I don't know how true that is. but that's what I've heard. Anyway, that means that we'll probably get another DLC, another expedition sometime in 2023. Steel Rain was a very easy DLC that could be completed in... Realistically, you could probably do it in 5 hours if you had the right material and stuff, because you had to complete the 5 new story quests, which none of that was really difficult. The Elder Rewards from a daily op could be difficult to do solo, but they're not too bad to do in co-op if you have even just one other partner. And then crafting the different legendary mods is nothing too difficult. It just requires some materials, legendary modules, and the legendary cores. Wastelanders, of course, was a much bigger DLC. It changed the whole game entirely because it was, bringing back NPCs and stuff into the game. For the trophies, you had 2 here that were basically tutorial trophies for finishing new tutorial content. These 2 trophies are unfortunately mutually exclusive, so you can't do them in the same playthrough, meaning you have to start up another character, get them all the way to level 20 so they can even start this quest line, and then finish the quest line a second time with the other faction, which is really stupid because in other Fallout games, you could always just... have a backup save, and that would allow you to get both endings very quickly, but no, not in this game for whatever reason. Then you have to finish the 2 ally quest lines. There's a lot of quests, but they're generally fairly short and easy. You have to become allies with the Foundation and Crater, which is extremely grindy, purely because you can only do it by doing daily ops, and they don't give you all that much relationship with them. It takes over 2 months of just doing the daily quests to get this. I think there might be slightly more quests now that you can do, but it's still just a massive grind. And then finally you have the gold bullion trophies, which these are actually very easy because you can put treasury notes into the trading area where you get the gold bullion out, and you can just actually put the gold back in to get treasury notes back, and then put the treasury notes back in to get that gold back, and just repeat that process until you get to 1500. So it's actually not that hard. And finally, for the base game, we'll go ahead and talk about that again. So you have a bunch of story-related and side mission-related trophies. That's what a huge chunk of the trophies in this game are. Pretty much everything through here is story-related. Heart of the Enemy is either story-related or it might be an event. That is story-related. That's a story quest. That's a story quest. That's a story quest. That's a story quest. I guess maybe all of those are story quests unless Heart of the Enemy is a... I think Heart of the Enemy is an event or something. Then you have to build a camp as well as 100 items. That's very easy. Mistress of Mystery is a side quest line. Personal Matters is a side quest. Queen of the Hunt, I believe, is an event or a daily quest. Yeah, I think that one's a daily quest. Monster Mash is an event. Scorched Earth was at one point the hardest trophy in the game, purely because the Scorched Beast Queen used to be a lot harder to kill, but nowadays if you just lobby hop, server hop for an hour, you'll eventually run into a group of people farming it. She's not farmed as often as some of the other enemies in the game, though. I remember in the very early days, people would always farm the White Springs area. They'd nuke White Springs and kill all the mutated feral ghouls. Then it changed to being more focused on the Scorched Beast Queen, and now I feel like more people focus on the Sheep Squatch versus the Scorched Beast Queen, but it's still not too hard to get into a group for it. Breach and Clear is an event. That one's pretty easy. Join 20 teams. That's your first co-op trophy. It does have to be 20 separate teams. So you're best off just going into a lobby, inviting every single person into the lobby onto your team. Someone will join you and then just back out and rinse and repeat in other lobbies. Craft armor and weapons are very easy. Reaching level 100 is a massive grind. I'm not sure if there's any great ways to do it anymore. Now, I'm leveling up a lot by playing the pit expeditions, but I'm also, have a lot of gear to where they're not that hard to beat solo. So I assume that maybe that wouldn't be a bad way to do it, because you're going to get to probably level 50 just doing everything else in the game, all the other miscellaneous trophies and stuff. So maybe then you would just jump into the pit if you had someone to play it with and sort of be able to grind your way up a little bit faster. That might not be a bad idea. I don't think there's any exploits left in the game, though, that can get you basically infinite XP anymore, which is unfortunate. Read 20 magazines, that's very easy. Just, you have to find them first. Ground zero of a nuclear blast means you have to be literally in the center of the nuclear blast when it hits. Fully rank up a perk is very easy, just use perk cards. Pick locks, hack terminals, mod weapons, all of those are easy. They just take some time. Complete 20 challenges, easy. Just does take a little bit of time, not much. Revive 20 fallen players. If you're playing the game in co-op, you're going to get this one probably naturally. If not, it's easy to boost. Have 10,000 caps. You don't have to have 10,000 at once. You just have to have made 10,000 over the course of the game. So it takes a little while because caps aren't as easy to come by, but it's still nothing too hard. Play a holotape game is very easy. 5 giant creatures is very easy. 100 locations is pretty easy. Killing a wanted player. People don't get wanted very often in this game because, as I've always said, the player base for this game is shockingly very friendly and just doesn't ever want to fight. So getting a wanted kill is going to be kind of tough to do without boosting. Killing one other player is something that will probably happen naturally if you at least try for it. Killing 20 players will not, so that's definitely one you're going to want to boost. Kill creatures is easy, gather junk is easy, take photos is easy, collect 10 bobbleheads is easy because they have certain spawn locations. Already talked about ranking up. You'll hit rank 50 or level 50 by the time you finish everything else in the game. And then finally complete the final story quest, which involves invading a nuclear missile silo. So yeah, Fallout 76 is not a particularly hard platinum. It's gotten easier than it was when it first came out. But it is very time consuming as far as I'm aware because I don't think there's any major way to speed up that level 100 grind. So I would say like 100 hours for the base game, unless I'm missing something with that. But 100 hours for the base game. Steel Rain and the Pit together will take probably 20 to 25 hours total. So you're at 125 there. Wastelanders depends entirely on whether or not you already have another character that's fairly high leveled or that's at least level 20 by the time you go in. Otherwise, that's another probably 10-15 hours just to get your character up to the necessary level, and then you got to beat the whole DLC again and all of the daily stuff. So there's a lot of repetitive daily stuff in this game to get trophies. Next up, Black Ops 3. I didn't earn any trophies in the base game. We're obviously still just one trophy away because I need to grab one more platinum before we go in and do this sometime this coming week. But everything else in the base game is done. So this is going to be platinum number 650, hopefully very soon. Let's see, did not get any trophies in Awakening. I played Der Eisendrache once or twice just to get another feel for the map. So I got 4 of the trophies in one day back quite a while ago. Eclipse, same thing. I got like 3 or 4 of the trophies in a single day. I think I was maybe even streaming it at that point, because that was over 3 years ago. Dang. Descent, haven't gotten any trophies in yet because it's the hardest DLC as far as I'm aware. Salvation, I've gotten those trophies over time, actually through naturally playing with some friends in real life, which is kind of funny. And then finally, there is Zombies Chronicles, where I earned my 1 trophy for this week. So for this particular DLC, you have a relatively easy trophy from Shino Numa that was in the World at War version. You have to escape on all the landers and kill a space monkey with a fire trap on Ascension. Those are both very easy trophies. This is the trophy I earned for doing the Easter egg on Shangri-La. I'm in a group of people that runs a lot of Black Ops 3 stuff. They've done campaign stuff as well as zombies, and they were running this today, so me and another player got to join in, and we knocked it out in one run. It took maybe like half an hour probably total to get through it, so it's way, way easier in this version of the game than it was in the original. So yeah, I got that trophy done, got that Easter egg done. I got this trophy right when I started going back to Black Ops 3. It's not particularly hard. You just have to get the weapon and then not die long enough to actually get the kills. These are for Moon. I am not looking forward to this one unless the excavators hit more often in this version. Supposedly, this one actually requires you to do the whole Easter egg this time around, which is kind of cool because I never actually did that. 2 from Origins. Origins is easier in this version, but I'm still not looking forward to it because I still don't understand Origins. It's the only map from the first 3 games, pretty much, that I don't understand. Everything before Black Ops 3, at least. And then Noctur and Totem did that one years ago, did the one in Kino years ago. And then this one, you pretty much can't do this one without getting Deadshot Daiquiri from the Wonder Fizz machine. But I'll go for it at some point in the near future, I'm sure. So yeah, I made, 1 trophy's worth of progress, but progress is progress. Next up, BFF or Die. I wanted to go ahead and knock out one of my few easy platinum trophies. This one's very easy. It doesn't take too long to do. It took me about 20 minutes. That included, so let's see, actually, where was my first trophy? Oh, 7:56 p.m. was my first trophy. So it took me about 28 minutes, but that also included a time period where I was setting up my camera and stuff and watching the video guide. So you could certainly do it faster if you know what you're doing. So for the platinum trophy, we'll come back to the high five trophy in a minute. But you have to complete Zone 5, which is level 5. And by the way, this is sort of meant to be a puzzle, almost party game that's really meant to be played in co-op. But you can do everything solo with one controller, so it's no big deal. But you have to complete the 5th level, and like your puzzles are basically you're running around the world collecting these little blue items and then running them back to the start while avoiding enemies. And you use like gadgets and stuff in the game. So you have to finish the 5th level without touching any buttons and then finish it while touching all the buttons, which releases all the enemies pretty much. Doing this one took me a couple of tries to figure out where I was supposed to put the enemies to get them out of the way, but once I figured it out, it really wasn't a problem. You have to die 5 times. You actually have to die a total of 10 times throughout the game, which is very easy. Just, try to die a few times just as you play through the game naturally, and you should be able to get that. Step on any one switch, that's unmissable. That's, as you can see, the first trophy I got. Rescue 33 Orbeez. Those are the little blue things that you have to save throughout the game. That's your main objective. You're going to get this one naturally while playing through the game. 6 moving hazards on screen. This one should come naturally about midway through your playthrough. There's a couple of levels where this should happen naturally. Use the grabber 10 times. This one's pretty much unmissable. It's a gadget. Time shift back to the space base 3 times is unmissable because you're going to have to do it 3 times to get to level 10. The drone launcher is an item you're going to get on maybe level 9 or on level 10, and it launches drones that sort of allow you to control some of the enemies. I don't think you actually have to launch it 22 times. I think you just have to hit 22 enemies with it. So you can farm this out on any mission where the drone launcher is available at that point. So you can farm it out in just a couple minutes easily. And then you just have to complete 10 levels of the game, and every time you complete a level, you get to high five. So basically, complete the 10 levels, you'll get most of your trophies along the way. Then there's just a few other miscellaneous trophies along the way as well, but nothing too difficult. It's about a 2 out of 10. It took a little bit of thinking once or twice, but it's nothing too hard. So about a 2 out of 10, can be done in 15 minutes if you know what you're doing, but for me, it took closer to half an hour. Finally, Borderlands 3 on the PS5. What is that doing here? Yeah. So me and Ghost are getting started on this game. We have talked about doing this for a little while now, and we're going to go ahead and just knock this game out in co-op. It should make it more fun and hopefully a little bit easier at times. I mean, the base game's really not that hard. It's more like the circles of slaughter and stuff that I'm more worried about. But the nice thing is that the game does auto-pop a few trophies if you load up your PS4 save, even though the auto-popping for this game is extremely janky. So the level 50 trophy, all the level trophies will unlock if you level up 1 time on your new character after spawning them in, which is nice. This one auto-popped 30% of my progress for it for some reason. I don't know why, but it did. So, cool, I guess. But once you load up your original PS4 character, it stops all the other trophies in the game from working, which is incredibly stupid, by the way. That doesn't make any sense to me. I don't think it's just a me thing. I think it's happened to a lot of people. But yeah, once you load in your old save, it will literally make it so you can't earn any trophies on that particular save file. Because I tried tipping Moxie and it didn't unlock. I tried sending an item to a friend and it didn't unlock. So yeah, that's unfortunate because I'm not looking forward to doing the shooting range again. And then this trophy, but here's the weird thing about the trophies that did auto-pop for me. They didn't auto-pop the first time I jumped into the game, but then once I quit out of the game and jumped back into it with the last 2 DLCs that I needed to have installed, it did auto-pop trophies. I don't get it. I really do not get it. It makes absolutely no sense to me why that would happen. I just don't know. I have no clue why it's just like a certain few of the trophies. Who knows, and why it breaks after that. I don't know. This game's just weird. It's a buggy mess. It was a buggy mess when it released. It's Borderlands 3. It's not really the best game in the series. The Circles of Slaughter, again, that's one of the ones I'm definitely more worried about. But the nice thing is that bringing in the save actually auto-popped all 5 of the location trophies, which is great because, for one, these trophies were extremely bugged when the PS5 version first came out. And secondly, even if they weren't bugged, they were stupidly obnoxious because there's over 200 locations and some of them are tiny. The side mission trophies. I do like, though, that they have the trophy tracking, though. That's going to make things a little bit easier for sure. Then just, yeah, those are the only other trophies I unlocked. These are all story trophies at the bottom. So, yeah, it is nice that a few trophies unlock. I still just don't fully understand why certain trophies unlock, because it makes, like, no sense whatsoever. But, whatever. Again, I'm not going to complain because I was able to get a few trophies out of the way, but it was still just, kind of a weird thing. I don't know. But looking through the DLCs, the trophies are the same on this version as they were in the original. You got all this. Oh, wow. It doesn't actually track the items you extract from Arms Race. That's surprising to me that one doesn't have a tracker, or that this one doesn't have a tracker because it's a location-based trophy. Director's Cut. Well, I'm not surprised that one doesn't have a tracker because that's just a story trophy and that's a raid boss. Even that one I would have thought might have had trophies. But anyway, me and Ghost are getting started working on that this week, along with, of course, whenever the guys are available for Black Ops 3 stuff. But yeah, so it was a decent enough week overall. Got 1 platinum and made progress on other games. Got Fallout 76 back to 100% probably for the next year. So we're going to go ahead and sync up our trophies. So, level 796, 86%. 24,141 total trophies, 648 platinums, 4,109 golds, 6,433 silvers, 12,951 bronzes. Plans for the upcoming week. The main plan is Borderlands 3 with Ghost and Black Ops 3 whenever those people are available. Those are really the biggest plans moving forward, and if I ever end up having time where I can't work on either of those games, we're going to go back and try to do those last few trophies in Uncharted 3. From what I think I mentioned this before, there might actually not be that many left that I can go back and still do. I think it's maybe fewer than I originally thought there were. So I guess that's kind of nice that it's not that many I have to go clean up, even if it means my profile will always be slightly lower completion percentage than I expected. But, it's all good. Not a big deal. So that's the rest of September and probably going to be going well into October. But currently for October, I have GTA 5 and The Division. Again, we've talked about those a million times now, so nothing else to say about them today. November, The Division 2 and Dead Island Riptide, if I have time for them. Especially Dead Island Riptide is more of a priority than Division 2. Because if Division 1 just continues to piss me off enough and I never really go back and finish it, then I'm never going to probably even start Division 2. Then December, Conan Exiles and Outer Worlds. Outer Worlds, I am going to need a solid amount of time just to sit down and only focus on playing that game. And then in 2023, COD Classic and Shadow of the Colossus and any other cleanup that's needed. Of course, I'm still expecting DLC to come out for Horizon at some point, a story DLC, as well as at least one more DLC for Minecraft for sure, but it's going to be at least a few months probably until that happens. And then I mentioned this previously that LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga is supposed to be getting more DLC in the future. I'm just not sure exactly what kind of DLC, if it's going to be more character packs or if we're actually finally going to get some level packs. I hope we're finally going to get some whole new worlds and level packs and stuff because I enjoyed the game a lot and I'd love to see them do that for, Rogue One. I guess Solo would be in there and then all the new TV shows and such. So that's pretty much going to be it for this video, guys. Please like, favorite, share, comment, subscribe, and ring that bell if you haven't already. As for the schedule this week, it's going to be definitely a lot more iffy because the next few days, of course, I'm going to be working on either Black Ops 3 or Borderlands 3, so that's going to be taking up a lot of my time, so there won't be any like streaming or anything during the week. And then my parents are going to be here this coming weekend because it's my birthday coming up a week from the day this video is going up. So this video is going up 1 week before I turn 27. So they're going to be here for the big birthday weekend. Plus there's a massive football game on this coming Saturday. So it's going to be taking up a lot of my time this weekend. So there won't be any streams this weekend. But next week, so the week of my actual birthday, I am going to try to stream at least a couple of extra times that week and, you know, do like a birthday celebration type of thing. And then, as I've mentioned before, October 7th, if everything goes right and I have enough space on my PS5 to do so, I'm hoping that that day is going to be the day I manage to set a world record. It's going to be a bit expensive to get everything I need for it, but I hope that I can get some support from you guys on that live stream as we attempt to break a world record in the trophy world. So that's the current plan for that, though. Also, during the month of October, I want to stream some more spoopy games. So Silent Hill 2, I'm having a lot of fun streaming that, even though it doesn't get the most views, but I'm definitely having fun playing it, even though I'm not having the easiest time navigating how dark that world is. But, I mean, I'd like to play through Silent Hill 3 as well because it came on that disc with it. Plus, Silent Hill 3 is actually a relatively easy platinum that takes like 10 to 12 hours. Silent Hill 1 does not have trophies, thank God, because I assume it would be just as bad, possibly even worse than Silent Hill 2, if you know anything about the first game's 10-star rating, because it's the only Silent Hill game I know anything about. And then there are other Silent Hill games out there that have trophies, but I just don't really see them as being likely to be played because one of them's like a Vita game with multiplayer, and it's just like, no, why? Why would that exist? So yep, I think that's going to be it for this video, so hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys later this week for some more videos, and next week for hopefully more streaming.